Hello, teacher.
Hello, hello, guys.
Hello, teacher.
How are we doing tonight? Hello, hello. Hi, Chloe. How are you?
Um, I'm good today. Thank you.
How's your day going today? How was today? Tell me all
Um,
about today.
Today is the final day to prepare for next new class
Mhm,
for my job, and
mhm,
so next Monday is the first day
mhm.
of my new class, and I am I am worried about everything um, because my class is for 2 years old children, and
Mm.
they are this is their first time to go to school, so I think they will cry for a whole day next week.
Okay. Okay. Well, I wouldn't worry
Terrible.
much about that. Don't worry much about that. Let's check in with Weston too, and then we'll talk some more. Weston, hi. How are you doing today? How was your day?
Stay at home holiday and watch TV for whole day. Suddenly,
So it was a slow Friday for you, huh?
yeah, fast Friday. Start from like 10 a.m. Then I watch TV until I ate dinner.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess it moved fast for you. Yeah. Okay. All right. Excellent. So, Chloe, tell me more about this thing that you do on Monday. You're preparing for a class that involves 2-year-olds, right?
Yes.
So, what is that? What kind of a job is it? Are you going to be a kindergarten?
Yes,
Uh,
I'm working in kindergarten.
right. So and and when you say class, that means that you will start work Monday, or you will
Mm,
attend the class Monday.
I think that is the new semester next Monday.
Okay, so next Monday you will start a new semester on how to work with 2-year-olds, right? How to take care of
Yes.
2-year-olds in the kindergarten. Okay, all right. Excellent. Now I understand you. And Weston, what is happening on your Monday? What are you going to do next Monday?
Stay at home and watch TV.
Sounds like a plan. Okay, all right, very good. Guys, I have this Marvel video and these Marvel versus DC. What's the difference? Kind of materials. Are you interested? Do you want me to play that for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Oh, I forgot about my transcript. Sorry about that. There we go. Now it's working. Okay. Okay, then let's play. Let's play the video. I'll play the video for you guys, and then we can talk about it if you want to. It's the Where's my video? Um, there we go. Um, oh no, I did it wrong. When I share, I have to share the sound as well. There we go. It's called Marvel versus DC. Which is more successful? Comic company comparison. That's the video I have for you. All right, let me just, oh, maybe I can move this thing. Or maybe I can't. Let's find out. I don't think I can move. No, I can't move the thing. Okay. Oh, I can move it. Oh, nice. All right, guys, let me play the video.
Okay.
I'm gonna go full screen if that's okay with you. We'll go full screen so we're not bothered by these things here. Let me know if the translation is visible, and things like that. But once I play it, I'll be quiet. But I think this time I've turned everything on and it should be fine. You guys should be able to see the translation and in the subtitles. So here we go.
The story of mythical heroes with extraordinary powers, saving their kin from villains, dates back to ancient history. The Greek scribe Homer gave us earthly warrior heroes battling with one-eyed monsters and women with snakes for hair. In the Middle Ages, the enduring tale of a mythical hero was that of King Arthur, a man who wielded a magical sword to save his kingdom from ruin. These days, the average person might be hard-pressed to suspend belief in such gloriously bloody stories, but that hasn't stopped us from telling tales in which good is pitted against monstrous evil. The most prevailing of these modern heroic tales have been the creations of storytellers whose medium is the comic book and, in turn, the film industry. Today, we'll compare two of the champions of the comic book genre in this episode of the Infographic Show, Marvel vs. DC. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button so that you can be part of our notification squad. First, we'll start with an introduction to DC, which is often hailed as the king of comics. DC, abbreviated from Detective Comics, was an iteration of the company National Allied Publications that was founded by Malcolm Wheeler Nicholson in 1935. That year, Dr. Occult came into existence and is still part of the DC universe today. Arguably, DC's two most indisputable heavyweights in the superhero milieu are Superman and Batman, which made their debut appearance in 1938 and 1939 respectively. Detective Comics wasn't called that until 1939, so Superman was really the invention of a line of comic books called Action Comics. Cultural critics have often said that the popularity of such comic books, the resurrection of the unassailably ethical character fighting evil, was partly a consequence of the global disharmony at the time. And so it was, in 1939, Marvel also appeared on the scene. Marvel was started by pulp fiction publisher Martin Goodman, and it was first called Timely Publications. Though Marvel introduced a handful of superheroes before March 1941, it was on that date that possibly its most enduring hero came to life. His name was Captain America. If you're not a comic book fan, we should tell you who belongs to whom. Some of DC's main characters are Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and The Flash. We should also remember DC's formidable villains, such as Batman's nemesis the Joker, and Superman's arch-enemies Darkseid and Lex Luthor. Marvel's band of super famous superheroes include Spider-Man, the Hulk, Captain America, Wolverine, Iron Man, and Daredevil. Its memorable villains include Red Skull, Doctor Doom, and Magneto. The main difference between the two universes of DC and Marvel is a kind of inverse logic, in that DC's characters are more godlike but in the guise of humans, whereas DC characters are more human but given godlike superpowers. DC's hero is endowed with almost immutable virtue, whereas Marvel's characters are often thrown into the superhero position by accident and still deal with their all-too-human condition. Now we'll take a look at business and how these two giants rate in terms of success. We'll start with comics and move on to the movie business later. Not surprisingly, DC got out of the gate fast with its double team of Superman and Batman. Action Comics, which introduced DC's Superman, has sold over 600 million copies. Batman Comics have sold around 460 million copies. One issue of the Spider-Man series, 1987's Superman number 74, sold over 3 million copies alone. Marvel's biggest selling comic is the Spider-Man series, which has sold around 360 million copies, with X-Men and Captain America in second and third selling 270 million and 210 million copies respectively. The best-selling issue was Spider-Man number 1, which sold over 2.5 million copies after its release in 1990. Marvel and DC regularly change places in topping the sales rankings, demonstrated by Diamond Comics, which publish sales figures for each month. If we look at the top 100 sales figures for April 2017, we can see that DC and Marvel own the market, with only a few appearances of titles that are not published by the two giants, such as Image Comics' The Walking Dead and Dark Horse Comics' American Gods. The top 5 selling comics for April, in order, were Marvel's Secret Empire, DC's Batman number 21 Lenticular Edition, Marvel's X-Men Gold number 1, Marvel's X-Men Blue number 1, and in 5th place, DC's Flash number 21 Lenticular Edition. The list goes on in a similar vein. After suffering a slump in popularity, comic books have made a comeback in recent years. In the mid-90s, Marvel almost went out of business, only to re-emerge from its broken state state to become a multi-billion-dollar behemoth, perhaps mirroring its own heroes' rise and fall and rise again. Prior to that, in 1984, DC almost suffered an ignominious death when its parent company, Warner Brothers, put a deal down on the table to sell its characters to Marvel. Both titans suffered near-death experiences only to come back stronger than before. According to Comicron, in June 2016, comic books saw the biggest sales they had in 20 years. This was largely due to Marvel releasing its Civil War II and DC doing something they'd done before, killing off the most virtuous of heroes, Superman. Some critics called his demise pointless. The resurgence of comic books pales in comparison to the rise of the superhero movie industry. DC was first to export their heroes to a movie format with the release of Superman and the Mole Men in 1951. That was followed by the first Batman movie in 1966, but it wasn't until 1978 that a superhero blew the roof off the movie industry with the blockbuster Superman that earned $300 million at the box office. Marvel heroes first appeared in film in 1977. Those were Spider-Man and Doctor Strange in films made for TV. Two successful Superman sequels appeared on the big screen, as well as a not very successful Supergirl movie before Marvel heroes ever made a splash in Hollywood. Marvel's first character that made it into a feature film was Howard the Duck, and the movie was considered a huge flop. Things would soon change though. Currently, the highest grossing superhero movie of all time is Marvel Studios' 2012 The Avengers. It is thought to have grossed $1.5 billion. Marvel takes second place with its 2015 The Avengers Age of Ultron, which grossed $1.4 billion. Third place is Marvel's Iron Man 3, which grossed $1.2 billion, and fourth place also goes to Marvel and its 2016 movie, Captain America Civil War, which grossed $1.1 billion worldwide. DC does, however, get a spot on the top 5 list with the 2012 brutal rendition of the Batman story, The Dark Knight Rises. The movie grossed $1 billion worldwide. Also in the top 10 in terms of sales are 2 other Batman movies and 3 Spider-Man movies. The highest grossing superhero movies of 2017 see another split between Marvel and DC, with Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 coming in a squeak above DC's Wonder Woman regarding ticket sales. If sales numbers alone don't cut it for you, then DC, while being pushed out of the rankings money-wise, is often credited with having one of its creations being in the best reviewed superhero film of all time. That was Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight, which regularly comes at the top of critics and viewers' top 10 lists of superhero movies. Ultimate Movie Rankings, which gives a combined score based on box office reviews and awards, puts DC's The Dark Knight in first place. It is, however, followed by 4 Marvel movies: Guardians of the Galaxy, Iron Man, The Avengers, and Spider-Man 2. Will DC make a comeback to the days it ruled the superhero movie scene? That's debatable, and depends on how well its upcoming features do. Soon to come from DC is its Avengers-esque movie The Justice League, as well as Aquaman, The Flash, and Green Lantern Corps. In the pipeline, Marvel has Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther, and Avengers Infinity War. While DC arguably created the biggest legends in the world of superheroes, it certainly looks as if Marvel is currently ruling the roost. So, considering the past and present, which of the 2 companies do you think deserves the credit for having created the best comic book heroes of all time? Let us know in the comments. Be sure to check out our other video called
That would be it, I guess. The rest of this is just announcements of other videos. Okay, well, that was Marvel versus DC Comic Company comparison. How much of this video did you guys understand? Like in percentage. Chloe, how much did you understand? 100%, 90%?
Sorry, my brother told us he found me during the video time, so I just watched watch a little.
You didn't watch all of it. Okay, section. Weston, no worries. Weston, did you watch the video all the way through?
Yes, and I think I know what the video talks for about 70-something percent. Like
so about
75.
75%. Some of the words were not, you did not understand, but you understand the history of how it all went when the first movies came out, who has which character, and things like that. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And know that every time that, and in this video, I know that making superhero movies are really earn money.
Yes, for some reason, making superhero movies nowadays makes money. but that wasn't the case before. So can you think of any other rivalry? Do you know the word rivalry? I'll put it in chat for you guys. Not in chat, in translation. Can you think of any other rivalry that is as strong as Marvel and DC rivalry? Like, oh, we have several options among existing, let's put it that way. Rivalry among existing competitors. Can you guys think of two companies or two, two houses that would have this kind of rivalry? What about Coke and Pepsi?
Ah, yeah.
It's the same thing, right? They basically, because what I like about Marvel and DC, they're in the exact same business, which is making comic books. And Coke and Pepsi are doing the exact same thing. I mean, could you tell a difference, Weston, between, if you close your eyes and I give you two cups and one has Coke and the other has Pepsi, you taste both of them, would you know which one's which?
Maybe no.
Probably not.
Maybe there are small difference, but like the taste and the temperatures and the ingredients.
Yeah.
But I don't really like because I didn't really taste them often, so I don't know. So I may not know.
Yes, so especially if you're not, if you're not a fan of soda and soda drinks, then there's no way you would know what's the difference, right? If you taste them.
Yeah.
And what do you think about that part? There's a part in the video where both companies could have gone bankrupt at one point, but they kind of saved. They were saved by, I don't know, to go bankrupt. I'll put this in chat as well. I keep saying chat, sorry, translation. At one point, both companies were trying to sell themselves to one another. Did you catch that part in the video? First, first DC wanted to sell all of its characters to Marvel, and then something happened and they didn't, and then Marvel wanted to sell all of its characters to DC, but they also refused, didn't want to buy it. What do you guys think of monopoly? I mean, let's say something like that really happened. Would that be a good thing for comic books, for art, if there's only one company that makes comic books and buys everybody else? Is that a good thing? What do you think, Weston?
That about they sold the Marvel heroes that for the monopoly.
Yeah. I mean, you guys know what monopoly is, right? When there's no competition.
I know the game, but I don't know the word meaning.
Okay, all right. Monopoly. Well, let's just define it. I'll let Google define it for you. Monopoly is a situation where there's no competition. All right.
So like one company get all of the business that all the people can only from this way to get to buy.
That's right. That's right. The exclusive possession or control of the supply of or a trade in a commodity or service. So this is a very much business English. But basically, that means there's one company and no other companies that would provide either the same product or service to you. For some time, Windows company, computer company Windows, I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna sneeze. I'm so sorry about that. For a certain period of time, Windows was the monopoly company in the world of computers. The only thing you could buy in terms of operating systems was Windows. There were no other operating systems available. And now
so is all there are no companies that make about computer, only Windows in it.
That's right. For a certain period of time, for about 10 years.
It's because of this to sell computer didn't earn money.
Yes, but when you are the only one, when you're the only one, when you have monopoly over a certain business, then you don't really have to listen to what your customer says.
Yeah,
right?
that's
the danger.
So it's really expensive.
Well, that means that if a person wants to get something that you have, you're the only option. There are no other options. And that means, for example, if I'm the only one who speaks English language, and everybody who lives in Hong Kong and Taiwan only have me, then I don't really have to worry or care about what you guys want. Because if you want to speak English, I know I'm the only one you can talk to because I monopolize.
You know that you are the special one.
Not really special, the only one. That's the thing about monopoly, right? And if say Chloe says, well, I can do what Josh does. I'm going to be a English teacher too. I mean, I have my knowledge, I have my business. And then I show up as a big monopoly and I just go, I'll buy you, Chloe. I'll buy you. I'll buy your business. And I'll give you more money than you will ever make. That's monopoly. That's being very, that's a very bad thing, right? Because without competition, the businesses do not have to listen to customers.
They don't improve.
They don't improve. No, actually it gets worse. Because you are the only provider of service or product, you lose connection with your consumer base.
So the company will know that although they don't improve anything, they can still sell that much, and they don't need to do many improvements. They don't need to hard working.
Yeah, they don't even have to work anymore. Let's say the only thing, let's say 3 of us have monopoly over group classes. And whoever wants to have a group class has to come to us. At some point, we wouldn't care what the newcomer wants because we own all the group classes.
So, right? Like if the Zoom is the only meeting platform, then they didn't improve any function and make the meet every time you're meeting need to get one. I need to pay money, then people will still have meeting. So they didn't care and still earn that much.
Yeah, it's still, that's why the Windows operating system story tells us how monopoly can make a product that look bad. Windows operating system was the only operating system that you could find on computers, personal computers, from 1982 till 1994. There were no other operating systems. And their operating systems got worse and worse and worse. But their profits went up and up and up
Well,
because there was no other operating system to buy.
so there,
So they, yeah.
there will be Acer, Lenovo, and other company.
And then other operating systems appeared on the market, like Apple's iOS in 1995, I think it was, 96. And then we have operating systems like Linux that is free to use. You don't have to pay for it at all. And about 500 million people around the world use a Linux operating system. And now Windows is working very hard for their operating systems to look better and to give a user more experience.
Okay.
That would be a situation of market-based economy and monopoly. When it's monopoly, when it's only one provider of service, then the service must get worse and money must go up because you're the only one who has the service, and you don't care anymore because there is no better service on the market except yours.
Okay.
I don't know why I started talking about business, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, certainly.
But I was just trying to explain the word monopoly, right? And now you know what the object of the game is. Why is it called Monopoly? The point of the game is to own all the avenues, all the squares, all the buildings, and all the hotels, and make your opponent go to bank and get a bank loan to keep playing. Have you guys played Monopoly, right? I know Weston, you know Monopoly, you've played Monopoly, right? Weston?
Right.
Chloe, did you play Monopoly? It's a board game Monopoly. Of course you played it, right? Where's my Google Translate? I'll put it in chat here, and then you keep calling this chat. What is wrong with me? Translate, and here's Monopoly. I'm sure you've played it. This is this is a hat player. Let me show you images of Monopoly. Monopoly board game.
For 3 or 4 people play together, and
yeah,
and they can work for like the map, and if you cross or stay on someone's home, you need to pay.
That's right. That's right. You have your cards of chance, your cards of community chest, and and the whole point of the game is to become the only one who owns everything on the game board, thus making monopoly. That's why we call it Monopoly, is that the object of the game is to be the only one who owns everything. That's basically how West works, to be honest with you. This game, before I say goodbye to you guys, I just want to double check. I think the rules of Monopoly never changed in the history. Let's see. When was the last change of Monopoly? Oh, they're adding more changes in 2019. Okay, so the game was made in 1933. So that gives it what, 80, almost 80 years old, right? 78 years old. And there hasn't been any changes to the game. But I just read now that they're going to make some changes, like auctioning, when a player decides not to get a bank loan. Anyways, if you guys didn't play it much, then you don't really understand what I'm saying. But it is a really good game. I would recommend, if you have time, to play a little bit of Monopoly. You can play, like 2 players can play. You can also play for fun on your own if you don't have any company, just to get a feel of the game and see how things look like. But it is a really good game. Guys, I wish you were here before half an hour mark, and we would have had more time to talk. But now it's coming up to what, 8 p.m. in your, right? It's 8 p.m. in your neighborhood, or 9 p.m.
9 p.m.
9 p.m. Sorry. Yeah, it's coming up at 9 p.m. and there are other clubs that you guys might want to join too. So thank you so much for the talk. Thank you for stopping by. I hope I've helped you a little bit in your studies, and I hope I'll see you guys again next week.
Okay.
Have a great weekend too, okay?
Have a good
See you guys.
weekend.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye.